Hey, Matthias.
Hi to you, Mason.
It's been kind of forever. We have been wanting to do this, and you accepted to do this.
True.
It's been forever.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's true.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to be here to talk with you.
Yeah, yeah. Dear friends, welcome to Faith Abroad. And today I'm talking with someone who is so much of an encouragement to everyone who would listen to the story. This is just a fascinating story. You want to listen to the end. His name is Matheus, and he's from Brazil. But you get a better introduction. And I'm so grateful to be able to have done this, or to be able to be doing this with Matheus. Matheus,
Yeah.
tell us, you came from Brazil to Germany. When was this?
All started actually in 2018.
2018.
Yeah, I was 18 years old.
Wow, you're
Pretty young. Pretty young. Have been working like in the church or for God many like years of my life since kid. But I always had like a missionary heart and wanted to do something for God, also in the church, maybe in Brazil or maybe abroad, but I never really thought to go abroad. And in 2018, after some issues also at home, my mom had cancer.
Oh.
She has been like very ill, and we had a difficult time at home. And after her treatment, actually, she got well recovered and passed through this whole process. It's also a complicated process. I was at the university in Brazil, and this call just came. Why maybe not go abroad and serve the church anywhere, maybe in Europe or Asia? And I grew up listening to those stories.
Yeah.
Like mission stories.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, going abroad, why not? But why? Yes. Why just say yes to that decision? And then I remember talking to God, and I said, God, if you want me to do it, I'm young, I'm 18. I didn't have any resources at that time. Money was a problem.
Of course.
And I said, God, please find a way and make the way so that works. And at that time, one pastor of my conference, he came and said, there is a call from the church in the media ministry that has been always my passion.
Yeah.
I've been always fascinated and also very involved in the media ministries in the church. He said, there's a call to go to Spain, to our seminary in Spain.
Wow.
And then I said, yeah, that could work. Spanish is not far from Portuguese.
Yeah.
I know some people that are there, so it could work.
Yeah.
And then I just prayed to God and said, God, please help me and guide the way. I'm not doing anything for myself to get that opportunity. I wanted doors to be open.
Of course.
And I kind of challenging God. And actually, these things happened so fast. In some months, questions of months, I got all the papers, everything ready to go. And by the last week, I already had my flights booked to Spain. I got my visa denied.
Oh.
And that was actually for me was like a kind of big question at that time, why things are going this way.
Yeah.
But then right after, before I start thinking a lot about it, it came already another call to come to Germany.
I see.
Because the church at that time, 2018, were starting, I think, to see the importance of sending missionaries around the world. And the church in Brazil is one of the pioneers in this century. They have been sending a lot of missionaries around the globe. And this call to Germany came to serve at the media ministry, at the media department here. And then I said, well, Germany, I'm not sure about it. I mean,
I can imagine.
It has been when I remember that story, it was it's really funny for me after 7 years being here. Just to imagine that once I kind of almost denied to come here. And, but then I said, okay, God, if you want me really to do it, then do it the same as you did in Spain and open the doors and maybe even with the visa so I can get there. And it happens everything in 2 months. I was able to come.
Wow.
I had to quit my job at the time. I was working in the university itself, making some money, living in a big city in Brazil. Brazil, the big cities are way different than Europe.
Yeah, of course.
We are very big and dense populated.
Yes.
So I just decided then to say, if things are working and I got my tickets, everything I got paid to come. So I was like, okay, God really wants me to do it.
Yeah.
And in January of 2019, I came to Germany to serve in the media department.
Wow. Let me get this. You wanted to go to Spain, then the doors closed.
Yeah.
And you didn't know that God was opening another door. You know, the Bible says, I'm the one, I have the key, and any door I open, talking about Jesus in the Revelation,
right,
no one can close it. When I close, no one can open. So doors were opening for you to come to Germany, but you thought that those doors were to Spain.
Yeah.
And of course, when you hear more of the story, you will see the reason why he actually came to Germany. So you came to Germany and you began serving at the Adventist University as a volunteer.
Right.
That's what you came to do.
Yeah.
So a volunteer missionary at the media department in Friedensau. How was that like just at the beginning? How was that for you? You know, you left a very big city.
Yeah.
You were earning some money. Of course, you were young still, but you were still earning some money. And then you came and you had to volunteer. You came to a small place. You know, can you just take us, let us understand what were your feelings like? What were your surprises? What were the shocks?
It's a very interesting question. I really like to tell those stories because it makes a lot of me myself, also emotionally. I mean, Friedensau has been my home in the last years. Yeah. And when I came here, I came, as I said to you, I think without like so much expectations, I would say. Like, it's a change, it's something new, but my head has been there. Okay, if God brought me here, there is a plan here to be done. And actually, at that time, I was just thinking, okay, I'm staying 1 year. And then that will be like the voluntarily period, because usually in the church you have 1-2 years of voluntarily.
Yes.
And then things will happen, will start. And then I already had a plan, actually. When I left my university in Brazil, I just stopped my studies and I said, at some time I will come back and we'll like keep it doing it. Yeah. And that was my plan. And I came to Freedom. Of course, that was a huge challenge as well for me, because I come from Brazil, and the church in Brazil is really, really dynamic. It's really working. It's really passionate. It's really young. Yes. People are really relationship oriented. Everybody's like kind of pushing on the ministry, on the mission. And I have been always involved. This is what I know from church. I grew up with this passion of doing Pathfinder, youth ministry. And I was like 18. So you want to really pack up and you want to do something. And then I came to Germany to Friends. I just got shocked with the reality of our church here.
Yeah, right.
Very, very old, I would say, like from membership, with a lot of problems in its base, like traditions, for example, really traditional services. The talks completely different. What I'm talking about. And I'm not talking only about the church. I'm talking about the culture in general. The culture, the German culture. Yeah. I mean, I grew up also in a German environment in Brazil. For those who don't know, Brazil has been a very multicultural place over the years. Yes. Because we had in the last century a lot of immigration. Yeah. So a lot of Germans, Italians, Spanish, a lot of people came. And I kind of course, influenced somehow in the culture. And I actually had a bit of an idea what would it be being in Germany, but actually everything like the church, I had no idea that what I would expect here. Yeah. And when I saw this, it came really strong to my heart, this desire of mission, to do mission. Wow. So because I said, I understood that since a kid, I had a great parents that helped me understanding those concepts. And Brazilian church, for example, is a pretty strong church. But one of the reasons that I say why we're very open and strong is because of some years ago, some people, especially the leadership, understood that to reach young people, to reach new generation, you need to go and be present on the media work. That's true. And in the 2000 years, like 2000, 2001, they started really invest in the media ministries and Noble Temple, the Hope Channel.
Yeah, of course.
It's really strong.
Yeah, very great. So, what they do there is like excellent.
Yes. Yeah. And this is like also the face of the church. So the church somehow got really connected with Hope Channel. And I have seen stories, many stories, even in my home church, of people who got to know Jesus through the media ministry. And I said, well, this is great. This is what we need. But in Brazil, we already have that.
Yeah.
So why not bring it to somewhere else? And I have heard many stories of people that have real challenges in Asia, in other continents. And then I said, I want to help them. And when I came to Germany and I saw here was like pretty nothing, like the media ministry here were like just starting.
Yeah.
It didn't have so much. I said, I really want to help.
Yeah. Wow.
And I think that's, for me, looking back over the years, is like one of the most important points that made me understand why I'm here. Not the need in the area that I like media ministry is my thing.
Yeah, it's your calling.
It's my calling. Yeah. And to understand that through the years, why it's so important to work and to invest in that. And it's also a big challenge.
Of course.
It made me stay here as well.
Okay.
It's one of the reasons. Yeah.
Okay, so you came, you saw a very traditional church.
Yes.
You saw a different society. And then you saw something that you could do. So you saw a media ministry that was kind of, if you compare it to back home, it's like, it's nothing, right?
Nothing, yeah.
Of course, because in your own words, you said it was starting. Right? It's not that the people were not doing anything, but you're like, no, there is a mission here.
Yes.
And then you started putting yourself into the mission. So what were the first projects you started with? Because guys, you're still a volunteer at this time, Yeah. So what were those first projects you were like, no, I need to do something. Let me just start something.
The real, like the greatest stuff that happened in this process is that when I came here, I directly met our missions director in South, Dr. Laszlo Sabo.
Yeah.
And I had the pleasure and the honor to work with him over 1 year.
Yeah.
And Laszlo is also a very passionate person
to
mission.
Yeah,
He's doing a lot. He's doing projects and also in Tanzania and Africa involved. Yeah. He has like an institute for himself. And he has also like another background, Hungarian, like East European background. And I started to work with him and just understanding some principles of mission, how Europeans, they do things. We had spent a lot of time talking about things. And that got me really like catched, like in the media ministry, because when it comes to theology in general, I saw a lot of challenges.
Yeah.
A lot of issues. I mean, the church has been experiencing many things over the years, things that I didn't expect at home.
Yeah.
Because at home we just live. There's not so much theory. It's more like a practical theology of doing and making and discipleship, mission. But I saw these concepts here, like we're not the same as they used to have at home. And then I said, okay, we need some tools. And media music came to me like in the right point. How do we start? And then we started producing a lot of content. I mean, the school has been producing content for Hope Channel in Germany. We just kept doing it. I started to get involved in some projects of Dr. Laszlo in Tanzania. I have been producing a lot of project things, videos, material, website, working in these topics. Maybe also like we're going even deeper and talking about how can we just bring this to the church level in Germany, because when it comes to mission, we see a lot of challenges. And it was a pretty nice start. But I always have been asking myself question, at any time we will be gone, I have to go back home, and then how it will continue this work. And I have been praying. I remember praying that in my room here in the dormitory and saying, oh God, show me what is the next step for me in my life, and what is the next step as well for the work after 10, 12 months. When you start to get really ready, because in Germany it takes more time than any other place for me. And then you have to go. It's kind of hard. But then one thing happened, COVID.
COVID happened.
COVID happened. Yeah, 2020. I remember my mom came to visit me. We had a wonderful time. We're talking about leaving, and then COVID came.
Wow.
And there was like no chance to leave. And my university in Brazil, they just stopped. And they said, even if you come, you won't be able to continue.
Wow.
So that was kind of, for me, COVID, if I say some people loud, but it was kind of good thing that happened to me.
To you.
Because I was able to understand the call of God and say, okay, this is my chance to stay and do something at longer in a longer term.
Yeah, a longer project.
Yeah. And then we started, and in COVID we did a lot. I have been doing a lot in the behind the scenes, in the background.
Yes, with the live streaming.
I had just experienced it at church that had no experience at all with live streaming, technical experience, and also like, how do we do that? We're like kind of forced to do it now. How? Oh my God, things are like falling apart. And then we started, because I had already like a lot of background from home. Brazil live stream was like, have been present since 2010 or 12 in my home church. So it was kind of, if I might say to you, COVID was like not a big thing in Brazil. Not even for the church. The church kept growing and growing because people were like, okay, if we cannot meet in person, then let's do other things. Let's find a way to become creative and maybe find a way to gather. And it was kind of inspire me to seeing those things from here, but at the same time seeing the challenges that we have in Europe. And also the challenges to meet and all the rules that has been happening. So it was a kind of challenging time. But actually there was the time for me that I really understood why I'm here.
So pause a bit.
Yeah.
Challenges, problems are the foothold for opportunity.
Yes.
A lot of people see challenges and they're kind of blocked,
Yeah.
Other people see challenges and like,
a chance.
Let's go.
Let's go.
The Seventh Adventist Church, when the church grew and was growing, and some people were like, hey, we need to get out of our comfort zone and get to talk with other people. And some people were like, no, this is going to be challenging. Where's the money? And then some people were like, people like Tchaikovsky, who came to Europe, and Andrews and Conrad, were like, these are the challenges, but I go, and they had the opportunity. And so you saw a challenge, or there was a challenge, but it became an opportunity for you. So you began creating, you began doing some mission, whether it's at its basis level, because you were already doing this anyways in Brazil, but this was new a bit in Germany.
Completely new.
And but aside from COVID, there was also another challenge, German.
Yes.
So while COVID was kind of fueling you, what did German do to you? The language.
It's interesting. When I got really challenged with the language and also with the culture, they're like two things working together.
Yeah.
Like, culture at the same time.
Yeah.
Always this question, am I going to survive? Am I going to adjust things on myself, to adapt myself to this culture?
Yeah.
Answering all those questions, I just realized that because I grew up in a relationship-oriented society. In Brazil, when you grow up, one of the first things you learn in the school is not math or Portuguese or those things. You learn how to be kind. You learn how to deal with people. This is the most important. How to greet, how to respect them.
Yeah.
So, I remember my classes in school, like 4 years old. And those things I have never seen here in Germany, I must say to you.
True.
Because we have a lot of issues. Like when it comes to intercultural relationship and so on, it's difficult to approach. And I understood pretty quick for myself, if I really want to conquer those people, if I really want to work here, for myself, for my well-being, I need to learn those things.
For your well-being.
Yes.
So it was difficult, actually.
It was very difficult in the beginning. German language is not easy. And when it comes from Portuguese, it's even far away. I mean, Spanish, Latin languages are easier for us than any others. And German is a mix of things. So it was challenging for me. But COVID time was the chance that I said, if I want to learn, if there is opportunity to learn, then it has to be now. And I have been a person, I know a little bit myself, when I have a goal, I go for it.
Yeah.
But this goal has to grow really big on myself. So I have really to understand why I'm not this kind of, we just learn a language for fun. I really have to know why.
Why you learning the language?
Because, and I just put it to myself, if I wanted to get closer to those people here. Because when you come to Germany, I don't know how it was for you, but for me, it was always like, when I had some difficulties and challenges here, I always asked myself in my background, why those people are reacting this way? Why are they going? And I always saw a lack of relationship. especially in the region where we are in Southeast Germany. And there's a lack of relationship on those things that I had on myself because I grew up with it. I wanted to give it further, but I can just do it if I know the language.
It's
a barrier. It's a wall.
Without it, you can come across.
No,
that's true.
And I just decided for myself during the COVID time. It was very complicated to keep relationship at that time because everything here got close. But I said, if I have the opportunity to meet few people and even talk to them, they shall be all my people, my German people that are like around me. So I can also learn the language. And that was the time where I did the German course. It helped me a lot.
Okay.
But I would say what most helped me by learning German was like the contact I had with those people. Few people, 3-4 people that I had on my environment, especially here in France. I'm really grateful for them that helped me to understand the language, actually the culture through the language, through their eyes.
So you immersed yourself into the culture.
Yes.
And then you began learning the language.
Yeah.
So professionally, or I would say, you learn the language in class, but you immerse yourself in culture.
Yes.
And you're like, okay, COVID, I have to learn this language during this period.
Yeah.
But then COVID came and left. Of course, COVID was kind of the harbinger for so many things right now, because even there are many things that wouldn't have happened without COVID. A lot of people have cameras today because of COVID, right? But still, we don't hear so many stories of saying, this happened because of COVID. It's only because of COVID, right? We don't hear all those stories. You are telling your story and saying, COVID was a good thing to me. I began doing some things I wouldn't have done. I began learning German. Now, those things, so media projects that you started running, German, how did both of them, which kind of became the tools for what you are now or your future, how did both of them contribute to, say, the next big project you began working upon?
I think was a journey for me. Because things like those kind of special things that are like more deep, they don't just show up from one day to the other.
Of course.
And for me, it was like, I said to because I'm also like a very passionate person. I like, and I think a lot of people who work with media ministry or like filmmakers, they need to be like that.
Yeah.
This is a kind of a personal, in German you say Eigenschaft, like a character, something in it.
Yeah.
You have you must have it to go further. And I started to understand after learning the language and after having people connected to myself, because the language helps a lot.
Yeah.
And after learning their stories, learning the German culture, the German way of seeing the world, which is really different than what I used to have or used to do at home, I started to see how can I connect what I do have, my personal talents, my relationship, to do something that can really power those people. And that was my plan. After I learned the language, I put it to myself in a way, so I don't want to I'm young. I have also like power to do something.
Yeah.
But I cannot change the whole country or change big things, but I have to start small.
That's true.
And being here in Freensau, looking at this society, looking at the story, it just brought me to one idea to myself. I wanted to achieve one project. I want to have one thing that brings people together.
Wow.
I wanted to have, because not only for my personal well-being of like, okay, I have done something, which is also very nice because it can inspire many other people. I have been meeting like a lot of people who are asking me like, oh, Matheus, have been long in Germany like 7 years. Okay, it's a pretty long time. But what can you achieve in 7 years? And you did a lot. I say, yeah, it can also be like that when you're passionate, when you're going for it. But I think for me, it was more like that. It was just the opportunity to show everybody that is German or no German, it doesn't matter, that it's possible to do something when we're together. Relationship is, for me, one of the basics or the most important values of life. And it's also like a biblical value.
Yeah,
actually,
of course.
When you look at Jesus, what he did, he was just building relationship. He was just talking to people. He was coming to them. And he didn't want anything from them. For the first time, he just want to help. He wanted to be there. And it has been for me like a kind of a key thought that were like helping me to overcome these challenges I have, language, coming here, adapting a new culture, and then also doing something that is really like life-changing maybe for one or those.
Yeah. So basically, what you're saying is, okay, so we're going to talk about you produce the film, right?
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that. But you're saying that this film production didn't just come like,
No.
You're just sitting there and you're waiting and it just came, You were gradually doing whatever the Bible says, whatever your hand finds to do, do it.
Do it.
And the Bible also says, go to the ant, you sluggard, consider her ways and be wise. In winter, what does it do? It gathers. So you had a winter period.
Yes.
Right? Where you were gathering, you're just doing a couple of things, one or two things, and building on your relationship, allowing COVID to bring out your talents, and showing it. And then you had this conversation with Johannes Hartland.
Yes.
Because I've heard the story, you've told it several times. And we're coming down to this film production because you are now a superstar in the Seventh Adventist community who has produced a movie, and a film. But you had this conversation, right? And you're talking about relationships. So it's basically on relationships. Yes. So what happened? How did this conversation come about? And how did you now start thinking of, okay, we need to produce a movie?
Well, as I said before, one of the most, for me, when it comes to media work, and some people do not understand that. Yeah. For me, it's a very basic principle, and that's something that I learned over the years, also in school, studying in Germany, but also like with experience of working with many people. But it makes media ministry like very fascinating. Many people that watch and see is the possibilities you have by filmmaking, by doing something. You can bring a lot of people in one goal. And that what has been my idea in the beginning when I start to think about this film and seeing the story of, for instance, seeing the potential of this. It's a fascinating story. And then I just approach it to someone who really understands those things. Yeah. Dr. Johannes. Yeah. He's really good in what he does.
Yes.
He's really like a guy who had been like collecting experiences over the years.
Yeah.
Like
he's the master storyteller.
A senior professor who has the storytelling on himself.
I'm telling you.
And he's also a relationship person. And you need somebody that has that kind of like who can really deal with those things. Not only like with the script. He did the script and it was really good.
Really? He did the script?
Yeah, he was the one who wrote most of it because actually I needed somebody who is an expert.
Okay.
I mean, producing a film in Germany is not also like a joke for me as a Brazilian.
Yeah.
I know a lot of things. I have been here. I have been seeing and talking to people, but you need also like the know-how from here. And both of us working together over these 3 years, we were like able, among many challenges, to connect people, to convince people, because this is what film is. Film is about bringing people together and saying, that's the goal, let's walk towards. And with all the challenges, especially financially, making film is also expensive. I think we're like kind of able to do something that the church hasn't done before, especially in Europe.
Yeah.
And not to say, oh, we're great, we're good. We're not good, actually. We have, if you look at Netflix, there's like way better production.
Yeah, of course.
But my main message that I really wanted to show with this is that together we can do it. It's possible. Even in a small church that is Adventist church in the context of Europe, we are able to do something together when everybody is working together. And that was the goal.
That was the goal. So coming together to do something. Yeah. Now, in order to produce this movie, you had to reach out to a very good actor, a German actor, who is an expensive person.
Yes.
It's very expensive.
Yes.
And he has done a lot of movies. How did you pray about it? Did you send the Holy Spirit to work? Or did angels? How did this guy agree to come to do a religious Christian movie? Of course, Friendsome movie is not just religious and Christian, it was also cultural. But how did he really agree?
Yeah. I know who we're talking about.
Yes.
We had many guys like this,
Yeah,
actually,
of
not only
course.
one.
Yeah, not only one.
But we had one which is really who is really kind of famous in Germany.
Yeah.
He's doing also TV,
Mhm.
national shows and so. And actually, it was always my plan, but not my goal to have such people working.
Wow.
Yes. Because when I think I'm also a visionary person, and I think, why not? Sometimes we also put a lot of challenges in places that there's no need. And I actually prayed a lot because I really wanted something to make a difference. And sometimes in the film area, you need those people.
Yeah.
They are bringing people together.
Yeah,
They have their community.
Yeah,
and
they have
so
their
on.
they have the
They
contacts.
contacts.
Yeah.
They have their figure, their
Yeah,
personal
yeah.
way of also advertising.
Yeah.
And for me, one of the most important things when it comes to church and all those projects is connections, relationship, and network. And through a very good network of people that I actually invited to be part of the film, especially the second director, Matheus. He is also a very famous director in Germany, has been doing a lot in the national television, and he was also in an Adventist church. His family is also from Berlin, and he has also a lot of good connections. And when I told him about the idea, he was fascinated. But he said, Matheus, how do we want to do it? We don't have money. And I said, look, and this is something that I really wanted to maybe show one of the most good things about us as Adventists, as Christians.
Yeah.
Sometimes money is not about everything.
Yes, that's true.
And when I said, yeah, I think we have a way to do it because we cannot show us as the most powerful Hollywood TV company. We're not good at it. And we don't have resources to be like Hollywood. But we have values.
Yeah.
And our values are very unusual for the normal society.
That's true. That's true.
So when an actor comes to a set and he gets really well paid to be there, he gets a sheet on his hand with all the text he has to speak. He gets some tasks. He gets also his costume. And he has to do this. And that's all. But I said, what about if he just comes here and have the best time of his life? And not having sometimes it doesn't work. So because it depends a lot of things, but we try it. Yeah. And what about it?
Yeah.
Just offer him, look, okay, we cannot offer you a quantity of money.
Yeah.
But we can offer you a good atmosphere. We can offer you a good project because we see you and we see your job and we see your work and your work is good. So that was the way that I approached most of those people. And in the beginning, they were very skeptical. What is this for a church? What do you want to tell? What is kind of story?
Yeah.
But when they really got time to talk, and actually this is also a relationship thing, and more calls of talking and saying, look, this could work. This could work. Let's try to work here in solutions. How can we do this? And after they come here and just realize, oh, these people are great people. And they are doing an amazing job, especially when it comes to education.
Yeah.
Because we as Adventists, we have been doing an amazing job over the years in many places around the world.
Of course.
Who from all the church institutions has such a system as we do.
Yeah.
And helping many people from many cultures. You, as an Adventist or non-Adventist, you can go anywhere and study and you have a connection of schools.
True.
And they said, well, this is just amazing.
Wow.
So we want to be part of it. And I can truly say to you, after all the challenges we had also in the production itself, all the people who has been involved, everybody, among technicians, actors, crew, and everybody, they were just saying, Matheus, we thank you. I thank you. We're happy to be part of it.
Possibly. So that's a big what's going on? Let me see.
Am I talking too much?
No. You're not talking too much. It's just only 39 minutes.
Hey, Olli. Hat alles geklappt mit Feuerwehr?
Ja.
War da was Großartiges?
Warte kurz mal im Con.
Schon.
Aber diesmal nicht mehr was durchgebracht.
Ach so.
Irgendein Lauchmelder.
So wie fast
Vielleicht
immer.
war es zu warm oder so. But my impression was it was recording until a minute ago.
It's still recording.
Still recording.
I just needed to see
Okay.
here. Oh, no.
So you changed the lights a little bit. That's the main thing I thought. If I have the chance to see how Matheus is doing a simple and quick light,
A quick
they
light.
just put it in the
Yes,
middle up and
because of the shadow,
yeah.
the middle one. There was like, because this angle, you have more shadow, and if you're going up,
The shadows go down.
yes. And actually, the best would it be, I just suggested him, but he didn't want to move. So you have the chairs 1 meter further and the lights 1 meter back.
So that you're
So then you
far
don't have,
away from the background.
right, and then you don't have this problem with shadow here.
Okay.
But then you would have another problem with your phone regarding the green,
Yeah.
because then it would like the frame.
I think we just continue. I don't know what's wrong there.
Then I do not
Just
disturb
continue.
you any longer because I think I can watch.
Watch it.
Have fun. Great that
Thank
you
you
do
all.
what you ever do. I think
Thank
it's
you.
very inspiring to many people.
Yes.
Very cool.
Thank you, Oliver.
And yeah, you know how to log everything.
Yes.
Still your home. Your home. It's
Thank
still
you.
your home.
Thank you, Oliver. Thank you.
See you. This is yours.
Yeah. Thank you. So we are going to just we're going to continue 5-4. You started selling and you started going places. Actually, this movie has brought you to places you wouldn't have gone before. Is it true?
This is true. This is true.
And you've gone also to the US to promote this movie. And the movie is about Friedensau, about the values of Seventh Adventism, and one also
About the history.
about the history of Seventh Adventism in Germany, but especially in Friedensau. And one of those values you talked actually in the movie was Sabbath. You know, you projected this, and this was very amazing because there was this scene in the movie where the authorities came and they wanted the school to do something, and they said no, it's Sabbath. And then there's another scene where they wanted to close it down, and the school also kind of had this pushback, and I think, of course, through prayer, the closing down didn't work out. But you have mentioned it, you didn't want to do what Hollywood is doing. You wanted to promote the values of not just the school, but of the Seventh Adventist Church.
Yes.
How do you hope this movie that you've done,
Echoes of Faith.
Echoes of Faith.
Yeah.
How do you hope the movie will impact even the audience that have not seen? Those who have not seen the movie, maybe you can go and see it's the Echoes of Faith. But how do you hope it will impact people?
Every film needs a vision when it starts.
Yeah.
And I like to have it to have it always like a parallel to the Bible or to the stories in the Bible. There are also kind of good movies. We see a lot of productions as well.
Of course.
Who has a goal
Yeah.
and a message.
Yeah.
And I think the message we try to transport with this movie is that the Adventist Church is made by people in the back then, in the past.
Yeah.
Maybe today as well, but not in every case. People who had a vision.
Yeah.
Who had a goal, who had a passion, and wanted to do something together. So if you look at the church in Germany over the years, you have seen that a lot has been done in between 20 years, 10 years. A lot of passion. Sometimes you look at that and you ask, like, how is that possible?
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Like, look at the buildings in Freedom. So like very old buildings. They did that everything in 22 years. How is that possible? And the idea of the film was like to show every time when there's like a challenge, people use this challenge and transform this into a chance. And I think my story is also about it.
The story is inside this in many ways.
It is exactly about this.
Yeah.
If I get a challenge, how do I look at this challenge? Do I look at with a pessimism or in this is never going to work, I will never be able to stay in prayer, this is too complicated, this counter, or do we see that as a chance? Is that maybe a plan that I'm here? And what are the next steps? So the movie talks about it. It talks about this mission. It talks about the passion. It talks about also the insecurity. It's also about the fear, about they are pretty normal. There are challenges we have in this world. We're going to be having them until Jesus comes back. This is written.
Yeah.
But how do we react to those things? This, I think, is the main question also for our generation.
That's true.
And I hope that this movie awakes those questions for those who watch it. And I have got pretty good feedbacks in this sense of people who say, oh, this film brought me some questions, and in a positive way. How can I change because sometimes for us as human beings, we just need sometimes a movie scene or just an input from a book or from a YouTube video, a reel, to change our view of saying things and think, oh, is that the way? So that's my hope.
That's your hope. Thank you. Matheus, by God's grace, now you are no longer in freelance now.
Yes.
You've actually gone to something higher. You are the communications representative and director in Germany.
Yes.
And you are the media director for the Berlin Central German Conference. That is incredible. Congratulations, by the way. But what are you going to be doing in these two roles, which is also challenging for not just a young person, but also, still, you're not German still, you know, so it's still a challenge. So what are you going to be doing in this role? So communication and then media directing.
As I said, challenges could be also an opportunity. My biggest hope in Germany. And I think I might be dreaming maybe for some people when I say that, but I would like to say that as a real Brazilian.
Yes.
My dream is to have a church that is relevant.
Wow.
That's my dream.
But that is not, you're not dreaming, because Paul in 1 Corinthians chapter 9, he talks about, being relevant, contextualization. Yeah. Because what you're doing is a way of contextualization. You're not dreaming. You are actually doing what Paul has done, what Jesus did, what God did in the Old Testament. Yeah. You're not dreaming.
Yeah, I say in the way of dreaming, because sometimes I hear that, oh, we're too small. Oh, we cannot do that.
Yeah.
Oh, we are not good enough. We're not Hollywood. And those kind of things are kind of shakes me a little bit.
Yeah.
In my way of thinking, because I say, no, we do.
Yeah.
We do. If we have the power of God and what He sent us talents. Some people are more talented than the way they think.
That's true.
That's really the reality.
Yeah.
I have been walking and seeing churches in Germany as well. And I have seen, what kind of opportunities we have, of talents we have. And this is a kind of, for me, especially when it comes to young people.
Yeah.
These are the people who can go in front and can do something.
Yes.
And they have got talents, music, and this and that, and this and that. So we have opportunities, we have chance, we have challenges as well. And my dream is to put this all together in a way that we can be relevant. How can we achieve the people where they are right now being relevant? We're talking about a society of Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah.
We're talking about the influencer stuff.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to follow or become an influencer.
That's true.
Because the value of the words that these people are speaking is more relevant for the time that we're living than any other scientific method or something. And that's the point that I say. We don't have to throw things away of our values or moral ideals, or take the Bible and change, or there are a lot of ways to do it. But I'm not saying that this is the way. I'm saying that maybe we just have to open our eyes and look for what else can we do to become relevant. And when it comes to media ministry, there's a lot. And this is my vision for the church in Germany. That's why I also accepted this challenge now to become the leader, because I want to see young people like me with power in their hands to preach the gospel. And I think this is also the real paper of the church, the real role of the church.
Yes.
To support.
Yes.
And to see how can we be relevant in the times we're living.
Thank you. Ellen White said, every Christian is born into the kingdom of God a missionary. And she's actually dovetailing on Matthew 28, 16 to 20, Go ye therefore into the world and preach the gospel, baptizing them, everyone in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. And you are so passionate about mission that you want to do it in a specific way through media. And that's the only way we can become relevant. Challenges will come, but you say you thrive on challenges. You know, you almost talk like you are kind of Joshua. You know, Joshua would have all the challenges in the world, but he would still go. You know, there was Wall of Jericho.
Yes.
You know, and
Yes.
he would go. There was Jordan to cross, and he would still go. Even before him, his mentor Moses. So challenges will come. But if there's someone listening to this who is like very much passionate like you, will you be willing to take this person? The person says, I want to reach out, I want to volunteer with you. Will you be willing to take this person and mentor this person?
Of course.
Would you, okay, what would you also say to people who don't have the same passion like you? But however you want to answer the question, just go ahead. Maybe
I say from my own experience.
Yeah.
I had the opportunity to have some mentors in my life as well. And I think mentoring is amazing.
Yeah.
Everybody who has a chance to become one mentored from somebody. This is also a biblical way of discipleship.
Yes.
And for me, it was extremely helpful. It's still helpful because I think this is also like a good way of surviving those times, looking for somebody you want to become, for things you want to do. And I would like advise those people who are like maybe passionate and want to do something. Keep trying, of course. This is the first thing. Never give up. Even if the challenge is huge, even if you step like down in the mountain and don't know how to cross it.
Yeah.
We have got something really, really powerful that is the word of God. He promised us so many things, but I think the most important thing that he promised us is that be with us.
Yes.
Even if the mountains are crossing, this is that and it's happening, he will be there.
Yes.
So this is like the first thing what I say. The second thing I would say, try things out. Why not? I mean, to become, like, for example, to make a movie is like about 100, 200 trials. You know, if I get an example of one scene, how many times I had to shoot that until it gets in the way that it should be.
Yeah.
And sometimes our faith is like this as well.
That's true.
So we need to try out and also try God out. Why not? He is also our best friend. Should be. So don't be afraid to try things out. And the third thing I would say is this trust. Trust in the Lord. The things that you are not able to do or to become or to be, God will take care of. So if I have, for example, I could tell you stories and stories of this production or of things about my past that I would say, if I would have said, no, I step here in and I want to take control of this, then I probably wouldn't get that far. Because my way of understanding is different than what God sees and how God sees my life and has the idea of control. His view is always bigger and better and greater. So, and this is kind of sometimes challenging for us because we are living in a world that is also like pushing us to take control of things. But when we look to God and give us to him the control and the power and ask him, please shape me in the way that I should become. Also for your ministry, for your kingdom. It doesn't matter where, if it's in a local church, it's in a conference, union, whatever. I think God can really, and he will really help us. We have been listening many stories around the globe. Every time comes always a new story, maybe like mine or maybe different than mine. Who shows us God is there and he's working with people and through people.
Yeah, amen. So trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own insights. In all your ways, acknowledge him and he will make your path straight. That is what Matheus is saying. And Matheus, thank you so much. It has been a pleasure actually listening to this myself. It has been a great time, talking with you. I'm so grateful. I've been blessed myself. Especially when you talked about challenges and if you have been blessed, you can also take your time to think, okay, what are those challenges? you're new in Germany, or you've been in Germany, or you're like, I've not achieved anything, or you're new in Europe, or you're facing so many challenges with language. Challenges are the foundation to actually spring up. And we have a testimony here for that. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Matheus.
Thank you, Jigme. Thank you all for listening.
Yeah, thank you. God bless you, Matheus. And that was it from my side. On the next time, it is Faith Abroad with Pastor Chicks.